That is such a catchy tune. Half the time I end up while it's on, and I hope that you do too. So welcome, everyone. It's time for Making Sales Social Live, coming to you from the Social Sales Link virtual studios, and is brought to you by our new service, AskSSL.ai. Check it out when you get a chance. I'm Bob Woods. Bryn Tillman is off today, but Stan Robinson Jr. is here and is ready and raring to go. How you doing beyond all that, Stan?
Doing excellent. Thanks, Bob. Looking forward to talking about
You
services.
can tell that this is my first one this year because, man, I've got energy, and I'm sure it has nothing to do with the 2 cups of coffee that I've already had. So, with that, let's get right into things. So, LinkedIn has a feature that's still, it's still kind of sort of new, but I don't see it used a lot out there by our fellow salespeople and revenue driven professionals. So, I'm guessing that it's probably new to you. It's the providing services section. Providing services section is what it's called, that you can use on your LinkedIn profile. And this is available to anyone. This area lets you detail the services you offer to prospects and potential partners. This is a really important section, I think, because it's the one area of the profile that kind of goes a little, I don't want to say against necessarily, but we're always talking about how we should be, stop talking about how you help people and just help people. And that should be throughout your profile, that feel of it. This section is probably the only section where you truly get to toot your own proverbial horn, right, Stan?
Yes, exactly. And as you said, Bob, the rest of your profile should be geared toward positioning yourself as a resource for your audience and talking about them. But in your services section, you have a chance to talk about yourself and what you offer, and that's where you can sell.
Exactly, exactly. So when you get that sucker first fired up, which when you go to your profile, click on the open to, and then you'll have a box pop up, a little modal box. Providing services is what you would click on to get to that. And then once you're there, you're going to see all types of potential things that you can do with it. So you can there's a little about section that you can fill out there. This is again where you get to trumpet yourself, where you get to talk about yourself. So take advantage of that. About the only drawback there, I think, Stan, is that you only get 500 characters and spaces. So you got to talk about yourself, but you got to do it quick.
Yes. Talk about yourself succinctly. Yes.
Succinctly, yes. So, probably a little bit more than what you would do at like a typical networking event where you're introducing yourself, but obviously you're not writing War and Peace there either. The next section is the services provided section. That's essentially keywords. And so you will need to use their keywords rather than just typing in what you want. So they are kind of limited, but you have a maximum of 10 that you can use. And as you're typing them in, you'll see a drop. I think it's been a while since I've done this, but I think you'll see a drop down
Drop down.
appear that will
Yeah.
have like, closest to or whatever. And if you type something in and nothing pops up, you're going to have to think a little bit differently about how you're putting it in there. So, it's not overly difficult, but it's not quite as easy as you think you are. And if you have that proverbial list of SEO keywords, I would obviously try those first, but just know that you may not be able to use those depending on what LinkedIn has in its own database in terms of what's available to you. The next section is a media section. You can use that to upload, I think, to upload documents, or what I use it for specifically is to link out to pages within the socialsaleslink.com website that describes what we do more. And I can already tell that I'm going to have to change mine a little bit because AskSSL.ai is not up there yet. So I'm definitely going to have to include that one. But, so it's like that type of thing. You also have a reviews section to where you can request reviews from clients. You have up to 20 credits. I don't know when those refresh, but you do have, you can go out to 20 people. And then whenever that refreshes, you can go out and talk to more. One of the nice things that we're going to be talking about in a little bit is that you can actually accept requests for proposal or RFPs if you want to get technical about it. So you can do that as well directly through that section. But for now, we're going to get to our 6 compelling reasons why you should use providing services to its fullest. And we think that these are essential for salespeople and especially for social sellers rather, like Stan Brin and I alike. So, Stan, why don't you go ahead and take number one?
Yes, so the first one is one that we've alluded to before. Services are the one area on LinkedIn where it's okay to pitch. It's okay to sell and talk specifically about your solution. You can talk about the product that you offer, even though it does say services, but
Right.
but that's where you can sell. Every place else we say, please don't sell, don't come across as that guy or that, that woman. Here is where you can sell and you're encouraged to. So that's number one.
Yeah, so that's number one. I guess the only thing that I would add to that is, definitely don't get finger snappy, like the proverbial car salesman or whatever. I don't know if I would go like quite that far. Just present yourself and present your services in a friendly way or however you want to put it. Definitely use your voice, but don't be, don't make it feel like spam, for example, or
Mhm.
whatever. So I do think that there's probably just a little bit of a danger in terms of what you put in there. But as long as you are still you still have that authenticity and everything else there, you'll be fine. So I definitely wouldn't worry about that. So number 2 is the providing services section is more than a listing of what you do though. It can really be a two-way communication medium. So, like I said before, your audience or prospects can submit a request to get a proposal from you on whatever it is they're looking to get done, why they even came to your profile in the first place. So you're attracting them via that curated list of keywords that you're selecting, but this doesn't necessarily tell you what it is they want to accomplish by potentially hiring you. So this is a great way for them to tell you what they're looking for.
Right.
So you can tailor your proposal to what it is they want rather than taking a shot in the dark about what it is that they want, because none of us want to do that, because we want to look like that expert that we know what we're talking about. You want to answer these questions directly, whether it's in a direct proposal or however you want to address that. Would anything to add to that, Stan?
Nope, that's pretty thorough.
All right, sounds good.
Okay.
So Stan, you are up with numero tres.
So number three is you can let people know how you would like to work with them. You have the option of checking two boxes, whether you work locally and you can put in, your location, like for me, New York metro area, or whether you're available to work remotely, which of course greatly expands the field of people that you can serve, or both. So you
Right.
can choose one or the other, or you can check both.
Yeah, so obviously, if you have, like geographical restrictions for whatever reason, you would obviously want to choose like locally. I mean, whether it's legal because you're not licensed in other areas or you have a specific territory or whatever, that's probably or you just concentrate on a local market because you want to concentrate on a local market.
Locally,
That's where you
exactly.
would indicate that. Now, I know that for me, I think I've got both Lexington, Kentucky, and able to work remotely. So I imagine that's where a lot of people would probably fit in there. But obviously, y'all do y'all. So whatever it is feels best there, you go ahead and you do it. So number 4 is, this new to you section. It's actually a great way to promote a free phone or Zoom consultation that you may offer. And if you're not offering one already, you should probably think about getting one started and then offering it in your section. It's an excellent chance for you to take that and demonstrate your experience and also to attract new potential business. And also keep in mind that you should be offering that elsewhere in your profile as well, especially in your about section. If you want to see how that's done, you can go to either Stan's profile or my profile and click into our about sections. You have any thoughts, additional thoughts on that, Stan?
That not any additional thoughts on that one. That is pretty thorough. And just keep in mind that unlike the about section on your regular LinkedIn profile, where we're used to 2,600 characters, you don't have that here. And as we
Right.
mentioned, get it down to 500. A tool like Ask SSL can help with that if you want some
Absolutely.
help condensing your text. So that's good.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's actually a great thing, especially because within that 500 characters, you can say for more, schedule a call or whatever, or reach out directly or whatever. You can even put a Calendly link in there, although automatically I don't think it develops a link automatically, but they can copy and paste that and
Is
and
that?
and schedule something with you as well.
Yep. Yep. Good.
So
I,
with that in mind, let's go to number 5, which actually is one of my favorites, and I have some thoughts, but I wanna hear Stan's first.
yes. So the services give you a chance to ask for reviews, just like your LinkedIn profile provides the opportunity for you to ask for recommendations for people to recommend you. Same with services. People can, your clients can post reviews of their experience. And the reviews are on a scale of 1 to 5. And what we always suggest, though, is pick up the phone or drop them an email or a direct message, just asking if they're comfortable giving you a review before you send an automated request for the review. So the first contact that they have with you requesting a review is not the LinkedIn message, but it was an email or, believe it or not, even a phone call saying, "Hey, Bob, I appreciate the opportunity to work with you. Are you comfortable writing me a brief review for my LinkedIn services section that I can post there?" So
Yeah.
that's yes. So that's what we would recommend. And as we do with LinkedIn recommendations, it's a good idea to offer to help them by providing some bullet points or even just a draft that they're free to edit, which will save them time when they're writing you a review. Bob, you
Yeah.
said you had some thoughts as well?
Yeah, so you covered most of mine. The one thing that I would add to that is just like in your profile, when you have those recommendations, social proof is always fantastic. And so, these are people who are volunteering because you asked, but they're still volunteering to give you a review so that, you look good to them because you have helped them with whatever it is they did and you did a stellar job and they love you and they're now star raving fans. That same idea from the recommendations in the general section of the profile from the main page, that same type of thinking applies here specifically with the reviews. And I think it's a great thing that they included it. If I had something on my wish list, which I'm pretty sure you can't do right now, is if you could duplicate a recommendation over to reviews, because otherwise you may be asking people to do 2. And if that
Mm,
is still the case, which I think it is, you may end up helping them with 2 if they wanna do 2, but still at the same time, do that. Definitely ask, and if it appears twice, it appears twice. What can you do about that? But maybe they'll do
yeah.
that one day, who knows? But it's still, no matter what, it's great social proof to have that there.
Yep. And I didn't mention, but people can review you by on 4 categories: overall product satisfaction, how knowledgeable you are, how timely you are in responding to their requests, and communication. And then,
Yeah.
of course, they can add text to that as well.
Yeah, so it's so think of these almost more like, a Yelp reviews, but or a Google review, but obviously with a little bit more detail with categories that are obviously important to business people who are looking to hire someone else for a project or just buying a service or whatever or product or whatever it is that you do. So kind of think of that a little bit more along those lines, and that it has to do directly with their interaction with you during a particular during a particular business engagement, I think is the phrase that I'm looking for. So in other words, sometimes in recommendations, you see other things talking about, you know, especially from like partners and people like that who haven't transacted with you necessarily. These are really focused on transactions.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then finally, for number 6, there's a toggle you can switch on in your profile. It's called Open Profile, and you can find it at the very top of your profile when you click on the edit pencil that's just above your employer and school and just slightly below your banner within your profile. So it's definitely at the top of your profile. When you click on it, you're allowing LinkedIn members who you're not currently connected to, they can then message you for free. This way they can fire up a message to you directly so they don't need to, go through some of the hoops that people have to go through sometimes, or just be blocked from responding to you directly. So that's just another way to attract more people to reach out to you by turning that toggle on. That one's a very simple one, but it can be very effective because, like I said, sometimes, depending on your degree away that they are from you and whether or not they're a free member or a premium member or a sales navigator, there could be some blocks that are there, not because of you, but because of how LinkedIn is. But when you click that to open profile, people can actually reach out to you and none of that stuff matters, basically. Right, Stan?
Yes, exactly, exactly. And one other thing about the this feature is that you can put your pricing in there. I'm not sure if we mentioned that. If
Oh,
you
yeah, that's right.
choose, yeah, if you choose, so there's the option to put, say your hourly rate in, or
Yep.
to invite them to contact you for pricing.
Yep. Yeah, so when you go in there, you have, the edit services, yeah, work location. Oh, I do have both checked. That's cool. I'm glad I thought of that. Yeah, pricing or contact for pricing and, adding the media and oh, yeah, there is, allow so that messages that I mentioned there is also in the edit services section the within the whole setup for providing services as well. So there's actually 2 areas to where you can click that on, either in the main section or within the edit services section here. And then also just to let you know, one thing that I discovered because I had to go and test something for this really quick. If you publish this and you're like, I don't want to do this for a while for God knows whatever reason that may be, you can click on unpublish and then it will unpublish that. But then when you click to publish again, it will actually save everything that you've had before. So you don't need to go through and recreate the wheel. It will always be there. You would just need to click publish again at that point. Anything else to add there, Stan? Just about stuff in general.
Just that this is one of those features that's easy to overlook,
Yes.
or of course LinkedIn doesn't do a great job of promoting new features that
Yeah. Yeah.
oftentimes can be really helpful.
Yeah,
And
and this is
this is
definitely one of those sections that are very, very helpful. So in that vein, I hope we've given you enough information to check out LinkedIn's providing services sections and use it to trumpet your own horn about what it is you do. And remember, you can even use it to take in those requests for proposal. And also, if you're a sales leader who's encouraging your people to use LinkedIn, your team can use this section in all of the ways that we've described to increase your company's sales success on LinkedIn as well. So definitely have your people take advantage of that too. So, with that, thanks for joining us for this episode of Making Sales Social Live, sponsored by AskSSL.ai. If you're with us live on LinkedIn, YouTube, or our other social channels, we do this every week. So, keep an eye out for our live sessions. If you're listening to us on our podcast and you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and hit that subscribe or follow button to access all of our previous shows and be alerted when new ones drop. And also, drop us a like or a comment. We love that type of stuff too. We do 2 shows weekly, this one and our Making Sales Social interview series, where we talk with leaders and experts in sales, marketing, business, and all other different types of areas. We even go rogue a little once in a while. So definitely check those out. If you'd like more info on our podcast, go to socialsaleslink.com/podcast. So when you're out and about this week and every week, how are we going to do this?
Well, I guess I'll solo.
Okay. So so when you're out and about, be sure to make your sales.
Social.
There we go. Really miss Bren for that one. Have a
Yes.
great week, everyone. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.